Aikman starts with a personal NIL story that sounds petty at first, then turns it into a bigger argument about contracts, loyalty, and how college football lost the education conversation.
Going to determine it? Well, what kind of leader are you? Do you want to be the best there is? Are you the first one in the building? What are your work habits? Are you intelligent? There's just a number of things, and I feel it's easy. It's easy when you walk into a production meeting and you're meeting Patrick Holmes, who's already won 3 Super Bowls.
Yeah.
He's got it, whatever that is. The trick is then finding that person who has it when they're still in college and they're getting ready to go to the NFL. So that really becomes how you evaluate it. But I think as far as what would it look like to give a young quarterback success, it goes back to kind of what we talked about earlier. I would want him under center for the most part. I think the college game has gotten to where these quarterbacks sit back there, hold the ball, they're waiting for guys to get open, and then when they get open, they throw them the football. They don't read coverages. They don't understand coverages. There's no sense of timing. It's one of the reasons why I loved watching Joe Burrow play so much, because the ball comes out on time. He's an old school quarterback. Man. He could have played Meyer in the 90s. And
you can feel that, yeah.
So I think getting under center, it forces a quarterback to kind of play in rhythm and get the ball out. So I'd want that. I'd want a running game, all those things that are really beneficial and helpful for a quarterback. But you're right. There's a number of teams, Dolphins included, that are looking for the next young quarterback that can be their guy for the next 10, 15 years.
You brought up college. Where does Troy Aikman stand on NIL?
See, when you talked about diving in on NIL one time and then the fucking kid didn't even write you a note and just bailed on UCLA. And dude, I was already out on it. I was like, dude, if these kids just get the opportunity to jump, they're jumping. And it's like, why even waste your time on it?
Yeah, it's and in fairness to the young player, it's a collectibles thing. He's just collecting the checks. He doesn't know
he doesn't even know.
He doesn't even know. So it's no reflection of him. And but with that said, I know a number of people, my daughters being 2 of them, that would have loved to have given them that kind of money.
No doubt.
They would have written me a thank you note. But I never even met him. I never even met the guy, and then he didn't play. So and I speak for probably most people out there. I know that most alums have heartburn over this whole NIL program. And I don't know how it gets cleaned up, but I do feel that at least in the NFL, you've got a contract that if you take money, you're obligated.
That's what it feels like it needs to get to.
You have to honor that, man.
Yeah, you can't collect a check and then the very next year go back in the portal and then go collect another check. It defies, what this country's supposed to be about. I always thought players should be paid because you couldn't work in the off season, or you could work in the summers. You couldn't work during the school year back when I was playing. And I didn't come from a wealthy family at all. But there were a lot of teammates of mine who came from less money than even I did. And they were really struggling. And I thought, man, these guys should be getting paid something. And the NCAA, I think, just really dropped the ball. I mean, if they'd gotten out ahead of this and said, okay, here's what we're going to do, and they didn't do it, and now it's the Wild West out there, So
it is insane, man.
And what you don't hear about anymore is the quality of the education.
Yeah, that's.
I haven't heard that. I haven't heard education come by about college football since NIL came about. It's all of a sudden
it's not even discussed. Graduation rates, none of it.
I never heard a kid ask, "Hey, how are my credits going to transfer if I switch schools here?" Haven't heard that one yet.
No.
But let's play a hypothetical, because this is all funny games. If you were a college quarterback and you had one more year of eligibility, but you knew you were a top 5 lottery pick
at a great university,
but the NFL is waiting on you, and everybody knows you're going to be a top pick. Would you stay an extra year or play for the worst or get drafted by the worst team in the league?
Well, it says Jets, Travis.
I'm not going to do the Jets thing. we got an employee that works with us at New Heights. That's a huge Jets fan. And the question was, would you get drafted by the Jets? But I'm just going to say, would you question whether or not to stay the extra year or get drafted by arguably like a rough situation.
That's a hard one because typically, for instance, when I came out in '89, I was first overall pick, and the Cowboys, of course, were the worst team, and they were the worst team in football, and we were the worst team in football even after my rookie year. We regressed. We went from 3 wins before I came to Dallas to 1 win when I joined, and so that didn't look like a great situation, but yet it became an amazing place to play, and so I think you got to be really guarded about saying, well, historically, this franchise hasn't done it. And so do I really want to go to that place, or should I stay in college another year and maybe, reshuffle the deck and I get a chance to go play somewhere else? There's a lot of, you take Peyton Manning going to Indianapolis, what he was able to do, they all look good. Joe Burrow going to Cincinnati. I mean, all these programs start looking better, when you start getting the right people in place. So that's a hard one. I think it's so important for these quarterbacks to play. Just play in college, play as many games. I mean, the chances of them then going on and having success in the NFL go up dramatically. I mean, you look at a guy like Bo Nix and what he was able to do, and it's so rare. A lot of these quarterbacks have only had 13, 14 starts in college, and that's a big jump than going to the NFL and expecting to play well.
Is there anybody out there that's struggling in the league right now that you would say might be the next Sam Darnold?
Not offhand. When going back to that draft, Sam was my number one guy. I mean, so when I evaluated him, I thought the one question mark with Sam in college was the turnovers. He turned the ball over a lot in college, fumbles and interceptions, and he still has had some of that in the NFL. But early on, it looked like, well, maybe it's just not going to work out for him. But like we said, he goes to San Francisco, backs up, then he goes to Minnesota. And then what he's done this year in Seattle has been awesome. We've seen that from Baker Mayfield. Josh Allen was a bit of a project coming out of college. People thought it would take him longer than it did. And he's the one who had the most success right away. So I've talked to so many people who evaluate quarterbacks for a living. And I've said, hey, when you walked in and met with Aaron Rodgers coming out of college, or Joe Burrow, or whoever, did you know they had it? And it's about 50-50, I mean, it's a coin flip as to whether or not what you think is what they're going to become. And that's why there's so many people that have been wrong. It's not an exact science in getting these guys right.
Well, quarterback is even the hardest one to judge, I feel like, because like you've been saying, there's so many intangibles that determine whether that guy pans out.
That's right.
We got a great one coming out this year.
He took college football by storm this year with both his play and his personality, man. He's a bit of a unique individual, and Fernando Mendoza over there at Indiana, obviously national champion. Everyone's saying he's going to be the number one pick. What's your read on him if you've been able to catch him playing football?
Is Aikman right that NIL needs real obligations, or is player freedom the whole point? Leave your take in the comments and like and subscribe for more clips like this.